You can know how smart a person is by how quickly they act on a new decision. The common lie. You are told you are smart because you got exceptional results with lack of effort, and then when you grow up, you are screwed because you never give yourself the option to put all your chips all in, leaving 90% of your effort on the table. I've been reading this unheard book called Antifragility by Nassim Taleb. And what's really interesting is we often get analysis paralysis by thinking of possibilities that haven't even happened yet. But we all know this. Overthinking creates a paradox. It feels like progress because your mind is constantly engaged with possible outcomes, but in reality, it leads to stagnation. The more you obsess over the little details, the more you hesitate, the less action you take. Ironically, those who trust their instincts and make decisions on the spot tend to do much better. Why is this? Because they commit and follow through, allowing them to learn in real time rather than just empty space. Even if they make mistakes, they can add the first hand experience to a big encyclopedia of knowledge, adjust, and keep moving. Meanwhile, the overthinker is stuck in an endless loop of what ifs, watching others speed right past them. From my experience, I noticed that it isn't discipline or willpower, but how bad you want the fear of regret over the fear of rejection. And by doing this, you take long term gains over short term pain. What's really cool when you finally take the driver's seat is you'll be able to spot opportunities that people haven't even predicted yet. Because 10 years ago, it may have not been obvious to buy Bitcoin because the accessibility factor wasn't there, but people bought the belief. And this is the store of value aspect because 30 years ago, the level of compute needed to generate outputs and train data was incomprehensible. And here we are. We use generative AI to create Studio Gilby images and solve complex problems with the help of neural networks. The thing is, nobody teaches you that life rewards you based on how well you manage risks, not how well you pay your debt on time. People hate it when you play safe. We all know that life isn't fair and people are all born with different stacks of cards. Some people are naturally great at creating web applications, while some people are very good physicists and chemists. There is nothing wrong with having a different interest, but the only thing wrong is not using your deck of cards that you're naturally good at down the drain. For example, Shaq is 7 foot tall, and what sport is he good at? Basketball. Why? It's pretty simple. He is 7 foot tall, and basketball requires tall people. Because if you apply this same type of logic to different topics, you'll get exceptional results. I truly believe that future is so blindingly bright because we have never been in a point in time where opportunities are dynamic, flowing, and ever changing with rapid iterations. Each ray is a new opportunity unfolding in real time. You could almost feel the pulse of innovation buzzing with pragmatism. It's like being in a crowd where everyone is walking fast, but there's no rush because the pace is exciting, not overwhelming. Every step you take can lead to something much greater, something different than what we have currently. And there's a rush in that, a sense of great adventure. Modern problems require modern solutions. We heard this phrase a billion times, and yet here we are stuck in the same spot. The cold, sterile walls of the office close, and the flickering overhead lighting cast a dull, lifeless glow on the space around you. Every second stretches endlessly, like being in a locked-in cage where these seconds tick by a almost painful placebo. The voices around you are jagged, cutting through the silence filled with tension and frustration. You can't escape, can't speak up, or defend yourself. The air feels thick with the weight of expectations and judgments. As you glance around, you see it. The faces, the posture, the wary eyes that mirror your own. Most people look the same, drained, uninspired, moving through the day as if they were on autopilot. The dull, gray atmosphere seems to reflect their lack of passion. It's almost as if everyone is in this haze, stuck in the same routine, too tired to dream much bigger. You feel the sense of mediocrity of it all, a slow, oppressive current that pulls everyone in the same stagnation. Jensen Huang, Elon Musk, Sam Altman, Peter Thiel, Sundar Pichai, Satya Nadella, and Tim Cook all built a vision from the ground up. If they all went the normal route, our lives wouldn't be this great, exceptionally in the realm of compute. Computers are like time machines, where now compute is so good, we are able to predict the future. We can create 3D real-time 3D renders of what the weather will look like in a couple of hours right this very second. All these entrepreneurs all found a great way to craft their vision into a reality by realizing that 20% of their outcomes resulted in 80%. NVIDIA is a perfect example of this because initially Jensen focused on GPUs for gaming, but the real game changer was compute. Instead, they doubled down on GPUs, accelerated, eventually leading to the parallel processing, cloud computing, AI, deep learning, neural networks, 3D rendering. By stating just 20% of their technology, parallel processing, and chip architecture, they passively unlocked 80% of the world's modern AI advancements. Now, fast forward 15 years, NVIDIA's GPUs don't just power the most advanced gaming rigs, they fuel ChatGPT, autonomous vehicles like Tesla and BYD, financial modeling, and scientific simulations, all because they focus on the core compute innovation that mattered most. Passion is the vessel into unlocking that reality. The only person you need to prove is yourself, but in order to start, you need action. You could say and think all you want, but if you don't have the movement, the vision is worthless. I find that success is really interesting because people always want to go ahead and get rich and get the most girls. But the thing is, success is cyclical. There are phases. It's all about growing indefinitely, not fast. Back then, it was all status in Silicon Valley. A bunch of nerds in hoodies, hunched over their laptops, coding away while casually playing pool. A half-empty Coke bottle right next to them. They weren't just building apps, they were building empires without even realizing it. Mark Zuckerberg is a perfect example. Now, those same nerds have grown up, cashed out, and built the empires that run the world. And the younger generation, they're scrambling, not just for jobs, but for ownership. VCs aren't just throwing monies at ideas anymore. They're looking for leverage. It's not about having a startup, it's about having equity, control, and the power to dictate the next wave. People often have this flawed perception of luck. They think it's something you chase, but luck doesn't work that way. Most people stand in front of a single door, waiting for it to magically swing open, thinking that if they just wished hard enough, luck will step in and do the hard work all for them. But luck isn't just the key, it's a great numbers game. People who seem the luckiest aren't just lucky, they're relentless door openers. Every conversation you start, every risk you take, every skill you build, these are doors. Some will lead you to dead ends, others might reveal an opportunity so unexpected that it changes everything. But you'll never know which one holds the jackpot until you open all of them.